folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, the Doctor Who role-playing game Adventures in Time and Space. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a box set. For those of you who've been around a while, you know how that box sets used to be the norms. You get these things, they'd be in cardboard, and you'd open them up, and they had more air in them than a bag of chips. But you'd open them up, and they'd have all these books in there, and maybe a map, and some tiles. And then later on with TSR, the box set started including things like player handouts and more maps, and they're wonderful, and you don't get those anymore. The box sets are starting to make a comeback. This is a Doctor Who role-playing game. What this does is it gives you a really well-designed role-playing game that emulates the mood and the tone and the feel of the new Doctor Who TV series that started with BBC Wales relaunching several years ago with Christopher Eccleston in the title role, and most recently up to and including the final full season of Doctor Who with David Tennant. This does not have any content from the newer batch of TV specials, which included The Next Doctor, Planet of the Dead, etc. What you get in this box set are 2 books, the Player's Guide. Wow, I wonder how they came up with that title. Just kidding. The Player's Guide and the Games Master's Guide. You get a whole lot of pre-generated character sheets, an adventures book. The pre-generated character sheets include some of the characters from the show, the Doctor, and David Tennant form, but there's really not that much difference really between the two in terms of stats. You get the Doctor, most of the major companions, including Rose, Martha, Mickey, Donna, K9, Sarah Jane in her older form, Captain Jack. You also get some pre-generated characters, a unit soldier, a Torchwood operative, a scientist, a musician, which made me think of the musician from Sliders in terms of why they put that in there. You get dice. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You get dice. You also get a whole sheet of story point counters. Now, this is a large cardboard punch-out that are little hexagons, which really fits with the hexagon theme of the new series. You get a lot in this box. What can you do with each piece? Well, the Player's Guide involves really introducing the characters to role-playing and Doctor Who in general. This game is pitched at, in my opinion, a slightly younger audience and to newbies who are fans of the show but not necessarily really knowing what role-playing games are. You get into how do you make your characters. It is essentially a point-buy system that allows you to make characters of differing sort of aptitudes. There are your story points, which are essentially your drama points or your plot points from other games that can do different things. You can also get into those to buy some really special abilities, such as Time Lord, Experienced Time Lord, Immortal, some of the alien race abilities. The cooler you are, the fewer drama points you get along for the ride. There are character points that allow you to get some of your more standard, I'm good in one area, I'm fairly well, I heal quickly, that sort of thing. One of the neater things about this engine is it's sort of like a combination of Unisystem and a couple other games because it's 2d6, add your attribute and your skill, and you're looking to beat a target number. But it's not a static target number, it actually slides, either against a difficulty or whoever you're trying to beat. The order of action in any combat or event is people who talk, people who run, people who do, and then people who fight. And if you want to try to talk them out of killing you first, you automatically have the right to do that. Now, that's really going against most of what we do in role-playing games, which is kill some more, kill it again. Oh, good, it's a zombie. We can kill it one more time. Unless we're my player Josh and we tie their shoelaces together so the zombies can't chase us. If you're watching this, Josh, that was your next shout-out. So either way, what happens in this is it gives you the ability to do that, to get out of situations. Damage itself does not come off of a pool of hit points or off of a sort of wound level. Damage hits your attributes. So if you get hurt, you might lose a point or two, usually not a whole heck of a lot because that takes you out quickly, a point or two of your attributes, which then affects your rolls. It's a very elegant solution to that problem. You don't have a second pool of points that you have to worry about. If you get hurt bad enough, rather than the option of dying, it does give you the ability to sort of become less adventurous and eventually get off of the show or leave the TARDIS. In terms of adventure structure, it sort of does not necessarily pre-assume that you have a TARDIS. You could be a unit team. You could be a Torchwood operative cell. You can have a whole bunch of different options here that would work to your advantage. Even the gadgets have their own system that works. And one of the really, really awesome parts of this is you build a gadget. Let's say you have something like a sonic screwdriver. It costs you a certain number of points, and it can do certain things. It's preset what that can do, maybe with some limitations. But then it contains a certain number of story points of its own that you can use it for something else. So let's say you need to use your sonic screwdriver to weld together some barbed wire. Well, okay, you spend one of your story points for your device and it does that. The most expensive thing in here is Captain Jack's wrist vortex manipulator, because that really can do the most. The GM's guide, it gives you some ideas, some background on the universe, not enough to really qualify as its own guide to the Doctor Who-niverse. But if you know enough about the universe, chances are if you know anything about Who, you can get by with what you know and what's here. A sort of bestiary called All the Strange Creatures that you can work your way through, including such wonderful things as the Cybermen and the Daleks, but also the Jadoon, the Krillitane, Roboforms, the Sycorax. If they've shown up at least once and they're significant, they're in here. I have loved Doctor Who for going on 30 years now. It means a lot to me. I have loved the relaunch of the series. I was very excited about it. I like you, David Tennant, but Eccleston's still my favorite. I look forward to the opportunity to roleplay in the Doctor Who universe one day. This is pitched a little on the new gamer side for me. Most of my players would balk at the idea that talkers go before shooters. If you like Doctor Who and you want to run a game that is specifically designed for it, that supports the entire property beautifully, this is the game for you. If you want a game where you're playing unit soldiers that shoot everything first, I don't know that I could recommend this, because you're going to get really frustrated when the Centauran who tries to talk you out of shooting him gets to go before you get a chance to shoot him, even if you have mad initiative skills. I was very excited to get this product. I'm still very excited to read it. And honestly, I'm looking forward to introducing my kids into role-playing with this game one day, because my daughters will watch Doctor Who with me whenever it's on. And for those of us who have kids and who want to move on into role-playing and introduce them to this hobby, this is a great opportunity for that. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.